What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Flock. I'm Eric G, and today we are going to be talking about the P. Crow Armstrong and White Sox fan interaction. It happened this weekend, and I've been seeing some crazy things on the internet, and I just wanted to put my opinion out there because I think it feels like the only like common sense thing and not comedic thing that people are putting out there. I don't know if people are just rage baiting for attention, but as someone who is a teacher, this is not something I want to see from either side. And I'll kind of get into um, both aspects of the fan and the player and what the MLB should do. So let's first look at the interaction itself and what happened because it was caught on camera, and that is a big thing. Um, as people can have opinions on Twitter and Instagram because it was caught on camera. So let's dive into it and see exactly what happened. So you can clearly hear this fan is heckling PCA, screaming "You suck" repeatedly. If you run it back, she's also got the classic double thumbs down to show her displeasure. Now, a big thing is like alcohol is at games, and people get crazy confident off of alcohol. She probably has been heavily drinking. So she's not necessarily in her right mind right now. So she's making decisions that she probably shouldn't be. We've all been there. This is something that happens, unfortunately, a lot. But like, it is what it is. You selling alcohol, people are gonna drink. They think they're fine, and then they get to a point, and then they start doing things that they necessarily probably wouldn't if they weren't drunk. So his response is this, and you can read it right here where my cursor is. And this is just not cool. This is not something you say to a woman, period, point blank, period. Like it's just you don't need to go there. Um, and I think as a teacher, like this is immaturity on both sides, but especially from him because he's sober. You have to understand as a player, you are getting paid a lot of money, and what comes with that is being a public figure, representing a city, and being someone that children look up to. If this is your response when things start to go wrong and people start to really talk badly about you and negatively about you, this is a problem. You're emotionally immature because you should be able to tune this out. It wasn't like it was something racist, wasn't something about his family, wasn't something personal. All she said was "you suck." And she could have been saying some of that more intense stuff previously. I do not know. Let me know in the comments if something else was said. If this is just the interaction and all she was saying was "you suck, you trash, get off my field," like that's nothing. That's literally nothing. Like you should be able to handle that as a player. I'm sorry, you can't handle that. Go get a desk job. Go get a desk job because you just not mature enough to be playing in this situation. And that's just the unfortunate part. You didn't need to say this at all. So immediately he's in the wrong. Unless you said something else, in my opinion, he's in the wrong. And what makes this even worse is the second part that we'll get into. But I think just right here, this is clearly an adult who has made a bad decision. But as a player and somebody that is going to be looked up to and is a public figure, you do not need to say this back, especially this choice of words. If it's bothering you that much, go get an usher. Go get somebody to be like, hey, wait a second. This person, they got to go. That's all you have to do. Be the bigger person. It's so childish. It feels like something that I deal with students arguing with each other, saying mean things to each other, and it just goes back and forth and back. It never gets resolved. You can just be the bigger person, not engage, and then it's over with. And you don't get a moment like this. It's real simple. And the fact that it feels like there's two children in the situation is ridiculous. Like we got two kids arguing right now. This ain't adults. And I think the alcohol being in play really does affect things. And unfortunately, it clearly was giving this woman liquid confidence, and she had a little too much and was like, look, he sucks, like, whatever, but you got to be the bigger person. So let's see how he responds to this, because you've clearly made a mistake. Let's see your response. And this is what he has to say. turn this all the way up.
If you're gonna go and open your mouth like that, I think you should probably expect. I mean, I saw the cameras in my face. It's not like I didn't. You know, I'm not really on social media, so I don't know what's going on there. But I'm definitely aware of the fact that it has blown up.
So the first thing he says is basically, if you're gonna talk, expect somebody to talk back to you. And yes, generally you shouldn't be doing this. And if this was a situation on the street, obviously it's very different. But we are talking about you being a public figure. You being somebody that is trying to show kids how to be. You're a role model. You should be like this when you get older. What do we need more of? Do we need more people who knew how to handle themselves in difficult situations? Do we need more people that can calm down and have responsible thoughts and emotions? Or do we need people that are going to immediately go to screw you, screw everything about you, like you deserve to get everything that I'm gonna throw at you, and it's gonna be, it is what it is. Definitely need more of the first one. There's plenty of opportunities to stick up for yourself. This is you being immature. And the fact that you come out and the first thing you say is, well, you should expect it back. This is not kind heckling. This is not some clever joke that you came up with that talks about how bad they are, and then they respond with a joke about your outfit. Like, this is not playful packing. This is two people that are clearly pissed off at each other. You escalated the situation. I guarantee she didn't stop for the rest of the game. I guarantee, she would have just made it worse. I don't actually know exactly when this happened. Correct me if I am wrong in the comments below. But like, it's not gonna solve nothing, and that's the first thing you say. That's ridiculous. But let's move on. Let's see what he has to say and continue.
But I think I just regret my choice of words the most, and who that affects in my life, directly and indirectly. I don't think that any of the women in my life would ever think that I would use those kind of words regularly, especially referring to them. So I'm just bummed out about the word choice, and that a bunch of little kids go and probably find their way to social media and see that as well. But I am intense on the field, and in a moment like that, I think I just let it get away from me a little bit. But again, poor word choice. Lack of awareness too when it comes to who's watching me. So
I am glad he addresses that, but you already made the mistake. We've already seen other players make this mistake. You can look up bad interactions of players and fans. You got to be better. You got to be better. And it's great that he says that. It's a great apology, cool. But you started off rough, and now you're trying to backtrack. Man, that's not how that works. You say something, and you're owning it like this. Oh, I'm gonna talk back, but also sorry because I'm realizing now that I'm a public figure and I can't say that. So now I'm backtracking because I'm realizing this looks bad for PR rap. Like, oh shit, yeah, that's what this is, and it's really crazy to me. That he thinks about that now. Why didn't you think about that when you were on the field? Why aren't you able to think about that? I know it's intense. I'm in music environments that are really intense, but if I lost my shit every time I was in an intense music environment and did badly, and there's been times where people have said bad things about my playing while I'm on stage, you think I'm gonna snap on that person and go over there and hit him with a mallet on the head, or be like, hey, shut the F up, whatever. Like, no. Because you should be able to handle your emotions. And you are supposed to be the mature adult. Like, just because you got caught and saying, oh, I knew the cameras was there, like, you was tough. Get that out of here. Be a better person. Be an adult, man. Like, it's ridiculous. But I
don't want to represent the other guys in this clubhouse that way, because mostly everybody in here is the opposite of that. But
What was the feedback you've gotten from family and friends and from the Cubs?
I mean, I've gotten a lot of support from the people that know me. Um, Again, I think that everybody that knows me knows that's something that came out specifically and directly related to baseball and the situation at hand.
So you have anger problems. That's what that screams. That screams when I get I'm in an intense situation, I have anger issues. Like, just call it for what it is. This is a bad, really bad apology in my opinion, and I think this is the issue that we have. And they always talk about, oh, future generations this, future generations that. But if this is the role models we're putting out, what are they gonna act like? What is gonna happen moving forward? This to me just is ridiculous. I 100% believe that PCA is in the wrong for this. 100%. I think the fan is about, if you were actually looking at this being realistic, she's in the wrong too. So 70-30 PCA. Just just putting it out there. And I think that people saying that he had every right is just immature people that have not grew up in, had not been taught correctly, had not been raised correctly, and there's a lot of things that people are unfortunately missing. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you disagree in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take, even if it is vastly different. Even if you fully back him, think he's 100% right. Give me your take in the comments below. Hope you have a blessed evening, afternoon, night, morning, day, whatever it is for you. Hope it is blessed, and hopefully we will see you in the next one. Peace.